What's up, Boozy here? Today we're gonna be right to top 10 theme spot the school lunches. Let's go.
Today's video, we're going to be going through the top 10 worst school lunches and the most disgusting things that were found inside of them. And I'm sure if you've pretty much gone to school at any point in your life, or especially within the last 10 years, you know school lunches just absolutely suck shit. And today we're going to be going through some really bad ones. But before we get into this video, I really appreciate if you guys could leave a like on the video. That'd be insanely awesome. And of course, make sure to comment down below and tell me what school lunch is the worst one that you've ever had, whether it be like a certain dish, maybe even found a bug or like a used condom. I mean, you never know what those lunch ladies do back there, but let me know about that, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel because that really helps out. But let's go ahead and get into this top 5. It's actually a top 10, I'm a dumbass. And in the number 10 spot, we've got a girl who found a worm or a maggot of some sorts in her school lunch, and obviously that is just nasty.
Jennifer Sane got a text message from her 10th grade daughter Monday with an unpleasant surprise.
It's definitely either a maggot or a mealworm. When my daughter and the girl that was sitting next to her in lunch, it was on her plate when they took it back up there, and told the lady said, no, that's just a piece of rice that didn't puff when it cooked.
The Clover School District confirmed Wednesday it has notified the food vendor that provided the rice. The district also removed that order of rice from all schools and checked other orders. Sane notified the health department about the find.
Moving on to number 9, this one happened in Finland, and this one involves another worm, except this time instead of it being like a news story type thing with a little picture, it's actually a kid recording it moving around. So this worm is still alive and it's crawling around on his plate.
Soi. En mä jaksa. Koulun ruoka.
Kato, Martti.
Mato. Se on oikeasti. Mato.
Älkää syökö koulun ruokaa.
Älkää syökö koulun ruoka. Tässä matoja.
Heading over to Murray, we've got a bunch of kids at this school. I'm not really sure what the lunch was. All I know was that there was a lot of rice involved with this lunch, and a bunch of kids started finding a bunch of these little dead bugs in this rice that was served to them.
Little dead bugs found in rice that was served to students yesterday at Bennington Elementary School. And even more of the tiny bugs were found in the larger bag of rice the kitchen had been handing out from all day.
The kids is an 11-year-old boy. He says he saw 2 of the bugs, and there was a 7-year-old girl whose mother says she must have eaten some since her daughter ate before the boy found them in his rice. At some point, did you realize you might have eaten these bugs?
Yes.
What did you think?
When I found out, I felt like pretty grossed out.
I'll bet you did. When Taya Getty's mother read the news, her reaction was immediate.
Oh my God. I'm like, my child had hot lunch yesterday. That was the first thing that popped in my head.
She wonders what the bugs were. Rice weevils, maybe. She found pictures online.
In the number 7 spot, this one isn't actually necessarily the lunch, it's the milk, but you know, it all counts as one for me, so I'm just going to count this one. But this milk, it was just completely spoiled rotten. It wasn't good whatsoever, even though the date on the milk said that it was good. So it was supposed to be good, but it wasn't, and these kids pour it out onto their tray, and it just looks nasty.
You ready? That's
fucking disgusting.
It's completely upside down. Oh my god! Posting that shit everywhere. Ugh. Dude, look.
That's fucking disgusting.
That's awesome.
I'm putting that. What's the expiration date say on it?
December 2nd, 2016. Yeah, it's supposed to be still good.
Moving on to number 6, this is what we call a filler, because I could only find 9 clips, and I wasn't doing a top 9 because I'm not retarded, okay? So this one is just basically a stale pancake, and it's a really short one.
This is a pancake, and listen to this.
Heading over to number 5, this one isn't necessarily just one specific school lunch, but it's kind of like the school lunch in general. It's hard to explain, okay? Basically what it is they found a bunch of cockroaches in the school cafeteria, and apparently according to them, there was a bunch of cockroaches there, but there weren't any in the actual kitchen. I don't really understand how that works, how you can have a retarded amount of cockroaches inside of the cafeteria, but none in the kitchen. That's what they said, though. They closed it down anyway, so.
Well, they're eating outside. I'm going to show you that in just a moment. What happened was that there was a routine inspection here at Rock Springs Elementary School here in Apopka on Tuesday. It was Wednesday that Dr. Pender, the principal, got word that German cockroaches were in the cafeteria where the kids sit down, not in the kitchen where the food is prepared. Now, if you take a look at this video, the children are out underneath a big tent in front there of the school. They're sitting outside under the tents, or they can have the food inside of their classrooms. Now, the food is being brought in from the district central kitchen. They have stuff like that in stock just in case of situations just like this. A cold meal will be provided today. I'm told by school officials it follows all USDA requirements as it relates to nutrients. Now, here is the message that the Rock Springs Elementary School family received about this by telephone.
Until we are sure that the bugs are under control, we will continue to serve meals under our temporary setup and keep students away from the affected areas.
In the number 4 spot, we've got another bug situation, and this girl, she found a snail in her, lettuce. She was just sitting there chomping on some lettuce, eating it, put it on her fork, and next thing you know, Gary is on there.
Joe, the principal says the lettuce brought in by the local vendor the past couple of days had more snails than usual. That's alarming because certain snails, when eaten, can cause what's known as rat lungworm disease. The student found this little critter in his salad, which the principal says was washed properly by the cafeteria staff.
We strained it in a colander, and then put it and prep it into the salad. And in this particular case, one of the snails was lodged in one of the leaves.
Troubling because most snails and slugs contain parasites that can attack the nervous system, causing rat lungworm disease, which can be debilitating.
They'll have tremendous headache, they'll have neck pain, all the sort of generic signs that we associate with meningitis.
Dr. Park says in some cases it could take months, even years of rehabilitation to recover.
A lot of people can have long-term complications. They could have residual ghost pain, they could have tingling, they could have other things. They could have weakness in the limbs, they could have headaches.
Dr. Park emphasizes that fruits and vegetables, especially green leafy ones, should be washed thoroughly and stored in the refrigerator so nothing can crawl on them.
Moving on to number 3, this is actually kind of a funny one. It involves milk again, and this milk is just so far beyond bad. And this kid, he's trying to squeeze it out of the container that it's in onto his tray, and it literally just looks like solid turd shits that are coming out of it.
Oh God! Oh God!
That's disgusting.
That is nasty.
Moving on to number 2, this is another one that involves worms, and apparently this one was called an earworm, which comes from corn, so, apparently that's how it got in there, but they were eating something called a popcorn chicken bowl, so it has mashed potatoes mixed with corn, and it's topped with popcorn chicken and also gravy.
The superintendent says after looking into the situation, they believe the worm came in a batch of USDA federal subsidized corn commodity used in that student's meal. As soon as cafeteria workers were told, that meal was immediately stopped from being served.
This picture snapped by a student at Hughesville High School shows he got a little more than he expected in the lunch he bought at the school cafeteria. On close inspection, it appears to be a worm or a maggot. Word spread throughout the school after that picture quickly went viral on social media.
I saw it on a Snapchat story. I was sitting in economics in Mr. Mockberg's class and just looked at my phone. There was a worm in someone's, what was for lunch?
Popcorn chicken.
Popcorn chicken bowl. Honestly, I think that's disgusting.
I just saw a picture about it during 6th period. Just thought it was really disgusting.
I seen it on Snapchat and Instagram, and I just think it was disgusting.
The superintendent continued to say that after investigating, it is our belief that the bug was actually a corn ear worm that came in the USDA federal subsidized corn commodity. We have since filed a complaint form with the USDA. Students say they knew this wasn't the fault of anyone working in the cafeteria.
And finally, the number 1 spot, this is kind of a short one, but this kid, he was going through and getting a school lunch, and on that whole, tray counter spot where you get the food, he saw that there was 2 or a couple different roaches on there, which is just nasty.
You see these cockroaches in school lunch? That's fucked up.
Those are the clips that I have for today's video. Hope that you guys did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to leave a like in the video. If we can break 10